Thank you very much, Aisha, for coming to our podcast, Business Breakthroughs. And to start with, I would like to ask you a few questions. Firstly, what is it you actually do? If you can tell our audience, what is it you are doing? Who are you serving? Who are you helping? So people can get to know you a little bit more.
First of all, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure being here and also being part of the mastermind. And I really much enjoyed it, and it really gave me a lot of clarity and value. I am here because I have a dream, and I'm just here to realize that dream and see how I can. Because I had the vision and I know where I want to go. I just didn't know how to. And I felt like I was looking for, like, I even did a study to learn how to do it, but somehow I was not giving the right tools and hand. In Dutch we say handvaten.
Okay.
The right tools to like make it a success or implement it. And this is something that I've been like thinking about for a while now. And I just was looking for people to help me along the way and guide me towards making that vision something that is going to manifest in reality. And thank you for helping me.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course. So you mentioned you are on mastermind. So you are one of the masterminds actually right now. We are in Poland. We're doing skiing. It was fun.
Yes.
You really progressed well. So that's great.
Thank you.
And in terms of, because obviously the days were really emotional, some of the days, yeah. And then what is it exactly, like specifically, who do you want to help? Who do you want to serve? If you can share that, because obviously I know that you had the vision. Now you are clear about the vision. So who are those people you would like to serve? Because if anybody is listening and they are going through some of these problems, the challenges what you shared in here, what you went through. So if you would share, like, who can you help with that? Because obviously everybody resonated with someone else.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so for me, like, yeah, you know my story. I kind of told my story here, but
they don't.
yeah, they don't. So, well, I've seen some very lows in my life. And I just, I gained the strength to come out of it. And I really want to, first of all, help people come out of that state and be, just being able to not even necessarily have to reach that low. But the thing that I'm very passionate about is that the high. So you have a high and a low. And I would like to help people, like, not just get out of that low, but also help them reach that high. And that high, I call the state of well, the state of well. And you can call it the state of well-being. Some people call it their true self, their inner goddess, or whatever you want to call it. But I call that state being well, because well to me means being in the right state of mind, having the right mindset, being in growth, and so much more. But I'm very passionate about helping people reach that state and just seeing them blossom. That just makes me so happy. Even like I just had a conversation with one of the participants for the mastermind, and I just did a demo with him, and he was being emotional about it. And just
who was it?
I'm not sure if I should tell
Yeah,
it.
you can share it.
It was Ian. So you can ask him. What he
I didn't know Ian
felt.
can be emotional. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I never really saw him cry before, so that was. But just to be able to like bring that emotion out of people, really, it's like it gives me purpose.
Yes.
And it makes me just. It just
I know
gives
exactly
me
what you
purpose.
mean.
Yeah, I don't know. How can you encompass that feeling in a word? I don't even know. But it's like it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Over the 5 days, I felt the same in here in the room, and people open up. You were one of the people who open up a lot and with emotions, and it's really fulfilling, to have that. And if you can help more people with that, I mean, it's like there's a lot of people they need help with. But tell me, like, you've been in the points of your life when you were low, right? And so do you want to share more about that? How, if there is any, like, if somebody's feeling in those situations, maybe if they're just watching or listening, is there any 1, 2, 3 tips which they could start doing right now, which would help them to, get a little bit higher just by something by doing themselves?
Yeah, personally, like for me, it was a quite a lonely journey. First of all, I think it's important to know that you're never really alone, even though we think we are alone. At that moment, you are not alone because a lot of people are going through it. It's just not talked about enough. Or like mental health is something that is coming up. It's an upcoming topic, but at the same time, often when you're going through it, you think you're alone. And next to that, it's also sorry, I'm thinking
It's
too
okay.
much.
It's okay. The point what you mentioned about being alone, I know a lot of people. I'm in business, obviously. I see a lot of people in business. They are doing it and they are alone. They are alone, and then basically they feel really like they are accomplishing things. They are successful. Let's say they make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they are just themselves and they are not really happy. And to be honest, like Tony Robbins speaks about it a lot. It's about the 6 human needs. And he said like everybody can master the first 4 needs, which is, like feeling certainty, uncertainty, love, and significance. But the other 2, the growth and the contribution, not many people do that. And he's calling it's the art of fulfillment, how to fulfill ourselves. And a lot of people are focusing just on the mastering the science of achievement, achieving, the material things and I don't know what. I was there, just remind me a story where I signed up for this training for it was like it was over a period of 1 year, and that the person who sold it to me, he said like that he's gonna give me opportunity to speak on stage. This is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So I did sign up, and then I did all his trainings, and he would never pick me up, and he would never give me the opportunity to speak on stage or share, not even for 2-3 minutes. And I showed a lot of interest, and I obviously did a lot of things, and he never done it. And I told him that I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna be coming to any more of the events because you said you're gonna give me opportunity, but you are not. And he said, you need to sacrifice something. He said, if you will be coming on every of my events, which is every month, the events are like 3 days long. It was in Birmingham, so it's 5 days for me. So then I might give you opportunity to speak, but you need to show support. You need to come to every of my event. You need to sacrifice something. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, but I'm not sacrificing my family because I might speak on stage. Maybe you did, because he did sacrifice exactly that. He had daughters, and he been working on business too much, and now he's divorced and he's not having those things. I'm like, but I'm not sacrificing something which is the most valuable to me in order to be successful, right? So, and a lot of people going through that, and they end up being alone. So if somebody is in that kind of a state, even if they are in business or not in business, like what they can do in order to improve, to be more in that state of wealth, how would you call it?
Yeah, for me, like learning the difference between alone and lonely, like is a very big difference, because you can be alone but not feel lonely. So sometimes the progress from
TikTok. I'm not lonely. I have TikTok.
You can sit next to each other and still feel that loneliness.
Yeah.
But and you can be you can be just with a lot of group of people and still be able to feel that loneliness. But like, first of all, learning to also be alone without feeling lonely, I think that is part of the growth. That is definitely part of the growth, because you can't always rely on others.
Yes.
And someone like his name is Sadhguru, is like really an inspiration for me. He said, if you are alone in a room and you're lonely, you have bad company.
Yeah.
And that really gave me, like, that moment hit me, because that means that I am bad company to myself.
Yeah.
So I did like a lot of self-reflecting within my life in general. And always I had a moment where I basically hit rock bottom, and I told myself, okay, either I gave myself 2 decisions. Either no gray area, it's just black and white. Either I'm gonna change for the good, and my life is gonna change, and we are gonna and I'm gonna progress into a new trajectory, which is gonna be a positive one, or I'm going to stay this way, but then I have to accept the consequences, which is staying in this state of mind.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the decision was made very easily.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we have that really made a difference for me, at least being clear with myself and honestly telling myself, I'm going to change my life. I decided, I made that decision. And well, there are a lot of tips I can give. Right now, they're not really coming up, but I am gonna make a free course and write a free book on some of the things that really helped me through the process. And then I just hope that it creates some value for people and that they don't feel like they're the only ones going through it. Because at the end, all of us are trying to reach that state of well, and all of us want it. Some people just need some extra guidance, and I want to be that guidance for them because I didn't have that for myself. So I hope that's why I'm really passionate about it.
So is that drive for you coming from because you didn't have it, so now you want the other people to have it, yeah? The option.
Yeah. And it took me like maybe 20 years to get there, to that state that I want to be, and then calling it. And then the idea of well came to my mind. And I just want to help people be well. And if I can do that and be part of that process, I think it was worth going through all that pain and experiencing that rock bottom.
Is there any specific people you want to help, or you have in mind? Like for some people, it's like I want to help only women, or just only men, or is it, specific, from the certain background, or like is there anything specific, or it can be anybody?
So the free content that I'm gonna provide is for everyone. Because I think everyone can like, even if it just helps them a little bit, and if that makes them conscious about some of the habits that they have that unconsciously makes them unhappy or unwell in that sense, that can help everyone. So whoever is interested, please just look it up and see if it helps you. But the people that I personally want to coach is get the people who are already like feeling good but want to achieve that state of well. That's like the people that I personally want to coach, because I want them to feel like that king or queen or whatever binary you are, to come out, to come forth, because that's deep within them and they just don't know how to bring it out. And I like somehow learned along the way how I did it, and I want to share that with people, and I just want to see them blossom. And if I can be part of that journey, that would be truly an honor for me.
Why do you think the people are not like that, and they are holding the emotions inside of them? They'll not let go. They're not gonna say what actually they want from life. They are not doing the things which would fulfill them in order to be happy and be in that state of well. Why do you think it's like that?
To be honest, I think it's because like we're just born into this life and often like nobody really tells you how it all works. Nobody tells you like, okay, yeah, you go to school, you get like lessons, and you have to follow a certain pattern. You have to go to school, you have to get a job to earn money, but nobody really tells you, okay, how do you work? How does your mental state of work? How do you process emotions? What is the difference between lonely and being alone? And like I don't think that information, like there are people talking about it. I think people like Tony Robbins or Sadhguru, they talk about those things, but if you don't come across it, you don't know it. And I don't think it's part of the society's norm to talk about it. So I think if people like me, I guess, who went through it, talk more about it, maybe it will gain more awareness and eventually become part of society, that you don't feel like, am I going crazy? Because it's something happening internally. You don't know what is happening. But if I hope with me telling my story, I'm able to like open up a space for others to also tell their story. And then
Yeah, you are right. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of people doing it, but there is not enough. There is not enough. Like especially like now we are in Poland. I'm obviously I'm like an hour from here in Czech Republic. 95% of people, when I mention one of the biggest names, Tony Robbins, in this space, they have no idea who is he. No idea. They don't
that's
know.
shocking.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm even
Shocking.
I'm in UK. I speak with people and I mention like, hey, I've done all these things with Tony Robbins. Like, who is he? Like they don't know, because if they are not looking for the answers, or that they don't know. So there is definitely a lot of work, to be done. And then everybody connects with someone else, right? So you're gonna connect with very different people than I do. So there is so much work. There's not enough of leaders for any space. So, and this is very important space. And you mentioned about your story. Like, do you want to share more about your story in the past, which obviously was tough? You mentioned in here. I don't know if you want to open up and share, because you said like stories connect, and if you want to connect, maybe it'll be good to share something. You don't need to go to details, but maybe if you want.
Yeah. So my family and me, like I've been born in the war of Iraq, and we came here, and like that experience had traumatized us to some extent, I guess. Maybe I don't want to like, yeah. Um, Basically, that experience had some big impact on my family, and to some extent also because like I said, like society doesn't teach you how to cope and everything. It myself like hit to some states of rock bottom and even depression, where I had to learn how to get out of it and make that decision to want to change. It was quite a journey. In the beginning, I wasn't even sure like why things were happening to me, and I was just asking like why did this happen to me? Why am I going through it? But later, rather than being the victim, I decided to basically take more responsibility for my life. I can't really change what happened in the past, but I can change how I want to be at the moment and how I want to portray myself in the future and what type of life I want. And when I realized that responsibility is within me, and that I basically gained some power within me, and the power to like decide where I want my life to be, to go to. And when I did that, I started somehow things, situation, like they just align. And the right people will come to you, the right people who give you the guidance. Like Sadhguru was for me one of those people. And yeah, and eventually you start to understand it a bit more, that a lot of things that you were doing, a lot of things that I was doing them unconsciously. So I was unconsciously hurting myself, and I was unconsciously being the victim, and I was unconsciously but I wasn't aware of it. And then I was suffering because I was unconsciously hurting myself. But once the moment when I decided, okay, I'm going to take more of that responsibility, and I decide if things hurt me or not, things started to get better for me. And also slowly I felt like it's a mindset. So I felt like the moment when you take more responsibility, it just grows and grows and grows, and eventually like you feel like okay, you're gonna think, okay, what do I want, what do I don't want? Okay, I don't want to accept any hurt. And then you start also having boundaries. And you start developing as a human being. And I think honestly, like one part of me, I hoped that things didn't happen the way that they did, but the other part of me is also very happy that it happened, because it made me the strong person. It sounds weird to say strong about yourself, but like it did make me the person.
You are strong.
Thank you. It did make me the person that I am today. And I'm proud of that person. I'm very proud. And I just, yeah, and I feel like I really am hitting certain states of well that I call it well, that I never imagined I could have experienced. And like, even though the lows were lows, the highs are also high. So now I feel like I get to live in that high. And I just wish this for everyone. I don't wish that you have to go through the same situation and the difficulties, but I do wish that you get to reach this state of well.
Everybody is going through something, and some people have it worse, some people have it better. But like, again, referencing back to Tony, he always speaks about just changing the language. Like, life is not happening to me, but for me, right? So even like I have a situations which is going, bad. Like even now, we have a company I will need to close because we are losing all the licenses. There's no point to be continue with that. It's like, so, and if I would be like, it's happening to me and this, and I would be being in that victim mode, which you mentioned before. But if I'm just gonna say life is happening for me, so I'm gonna focus on a different view. I'm like, okay, so if that is happening, that means that I don't need to think about it anymore. I'm just gonna do a transition, which is gonna be like 3 months, and then I can put more focus on something what I love, which is this mastermind. And I can create actually something even better because it free up my time, which before I thought I was still restrained a certain time to think about it, even though I don't need to do as much because I have a team, but still I had to think about it, run the meetings. But if it's happening for me, then I can move on. And also another thing, your past doesn't equal your future unless you live there, right?
True.
And a lot of people live in the past. Something happened and they still are, that happened and that's I'm like that. So it's very important to not live there and just finding new ways, obviously be in the present, but focusing on the future. And yeah, there are obviously good things why to go in the past, like a lot of exercises to do, so to realize things, but definitely not be there all the time. So, and I think there's so many people that would need your help with that sense because you went through hell, because you shared all the story in here. And if people will come to see you, even in person, on one-to-one, or you speak on stage, and they can share all your story, that I think they will really understand how you can help them and how you can get them to the better state. Because the thing is, I didn't know all the things about you before you shared that, and you shared it on the day 3 or 4, and you were really like blossoming, and you're a very happy person and very energetic and engaging. So you wouldn't know that you weren't going through that, but then you open up and you share the story, so it makes sense, like how did you overcome. And now you have that kind of a knowledge. I wouldn't call it secrets, but like how you did it,
the insight.
and then basically if you connect with someone, that you can definitely do it with them. And do you have like any kind of vision, like a bigger vision, like let's say, I don't know, some people have like, I want to help in my lifetime 1 million people to connect and kind of give them that wisdom, and or anything like that. Do you have anything in those kind of a
just referring back to the thing you said before, like how I see it is exactly like I'm trying to, everything that happened in the past, I'm trying to look at them as blessings in disguise. Even though they happened, it's still like something blossomed out of it. And for me, it's the person, this state that I can call well, and the journey itself. It's been crazy, but it's also been very much of an adventure. And my mission is to definitely be able to just help people. So in that sense, also reduce their suffering, but also spread this well and spread it through the whole world. And be part of the movement of well-being. Everyone has their own way to call this movement. Tony Robbins does it in his own way.
Yes.
Through life coaching. Some other people do it through career coaching. And I think I want to do it through the brand of well, and be able to like say that, that make it a thing for the general public, that they actually can say, rather than saying, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, but that they can really say like, I'm well, and everyone just knows what that is, and that they get to be in that state, and live life from that state. And if I can spread that through the world, wow. That's like, I can die happily, I'm like, I've done my mission, I'm good, I have a good life, I had fun. So I think
I have to say also, another things to realize for the viewers is, just to share a quick story about like if you went through a lot of things and then obviously you are now feeling good, but it's important to say that you are a really action taker because the things doesn't happen just like that. You know, if people are waiting for things to happen, they don't. People need to go towards them. And why I'm saying you are an action taker, because the people don't know, the only people who are here, is that you decided to come with your friend from Amsterdam or from Holland to Poland, which is quite far, and you had flight tickets booked and that you are coming. But the flights were cancelled, and majority of the people, they would be like, cancel, flights are cancelled, can I get a refund? Can I come for the next event or something? By the way, no refunds. And then you are like, we'll try to rent the car. And then you rent the car and you drove with your friend 12 hours to get here. So you are here on time, starting the event as it should, and being here. Majority of the people, 95% of the people, they would never do that. They would quit. They would find excuses. They would say like, it's the ownership. When you talk about, they would say like, it's a fault of the company, of the planes. It's their fault. It's not my fault. I cannot do anything about it. But you are like, no, that was one approach. But we have roads. And you hired the van. They told you have a winter tires, and there is plenty of snow in here, and you don't have a winter tires. But you made it. You are here. You went through it, and now you are obviously not only that you learned how to evolve it into your business and how you can scale it up, but also you have affected another 12 people who are in the room with your presence and share your story. And a lot of people, because of you, open up even more than they would normally did. So you are already sharing the message, and it's already 12. And now the next time is going to be more and more and more. And that's how this message is going to be spread. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
And if there would be anything, kind of like a last message we would like to share with someone who is listening to, I don't know, because there are like, if you imagine that there are people who are in those states, which are not good states, but they don't necessarily want to reach out because they are afraid. They are like, I'm in that, but I don't really want to send her a message or do anything about it because, you know, a lot of people, they takes time before they open up. So if there are people listening and they are in this situation, what is it they can start doing right now behind the screen, you know, just at home, something which would help them, which maybe helped you, which then it could be the first step.
Let's say I would imagine myself being that person and wondering if I could do it. I would say to the people like, this is not something difficult. It's not something big, or because often people are like, oh, they did it, but I can't. But it's something that everyone can, because in the end, we're all human beings. Just some people had the tools taught by them, or coincidence, or they were a bit more conscious in some way because their circumstances allowed it. But in the end, I feel like every human can be in that state of well, and some have more difficulties. That's true. But at the end, I think if you have the right tools and the right people, you will get there. You are able to reach that well. So what helped me is just giving myself two options up until now. Like, that's also how I roll life. Either I do it and I benefit from it, or I don't and I don't benefit from it, or I choose another route. But just give yourself two options, no gray area. And I think then the decision is way easier to make.
Yes.
So yeah, no, we are not like really that different from you. And if you really want to reach that state of well, it is possible. You just need to find the right people to tell you. And if you want, I can help you with that. Maybe other people are also out there. It doesn't only have to be me. If you don't resonate with me, there's enough people out there.
Wait, don't sell their services.
Okay.
You connect with her, all right? With Aisha. You know,
But
not with the other. Like, there is nobody else doing it. It's only person one.
Yeah. But you can do it. Nothing is impossible in life. Thank you.
Yeah, you heard her, yeah? So you're going to connect with Aisha if you have an issue. And if you don't have an issue, connect with her anyway, because she's very lovely and she wants to chat with you. It was very nice having you. Thank you very much for opening up. And I know we'll do that again. We'll see where you moved on and how many more people you helped. And we'll do that again in the future.
You helping?
Thank you.
Thank you as well.